What up, YouTube? Good morning. I would say welcome to what day it is, but this won't. Well, yeah, I could post this today. We're looking at some. We're looking at what looks like a young Ren. He always looks young. And Sam. What is this? The Ren and Sam interview. All right, that makes sense. We got coffee. It's almost 5 a.m. Just getting ready for the day. Puffy. All right, this is a long one, so I'm not gonna waste a lot of time. Go support Ren, please. And go subscribe. Support Sam too, in whatever his digital adventures are. I'm sure he's got social media out there. Go blow up his friend requests on his TikTok page. Go subscribe. If you like what I do, of course, comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate it very much. It does help the channel. Let's go. Let's roll it. Come on. Y'all got volume?
There we go.
Close.
Sing. Now there's so many claps to sing to.
I know, I just fucked with this shit.
My name's Ren. None of you guys probably knew this. I'm Ren. I'm a mediocre artist from Wales. This is Sam.
They must have some really good artists in Wales then, if he's considered mediocre. That's like calling me decent looking. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm Sam. I'm a mediocre videographer. No, I'm joking.
She's like, no, I'm joking. I'm amazing. I'm incredible.
No, I just called myself a videographer. That's like my least favourite thing to be called in the world.
What are you then?
I'm a cinematographer or filmmaker, I would say.
I've got my bowl of water.
Refreshing.
The sacred bowl. Let's get it, I guess. Oh, a spicy one right from the get-go. Anything that pops to your mind?
I mean, there's been plenty of heated moments, but I wouldn't say it's like there's been any arguments. I think we've definitely had our like creative differences, and then also like when we're right up against it at 5 in the morning and we just want to go to bed, but we really want to get the video.
Yeah,
it's like patience are tested for sure.
I think the problem is I'm a masochist, so like everyone is dead, and I'm like, no, more tapes.
He can't help but refer to songs. Like, even within his songs, he refers back to old songs. And in day-to-day, just average talk, just, preferring. Someone asked him a question like, what do you want in your coffee? He's like, well, unfortunately, I'm a sick boy, so I'd like to have a little patience when ordering, shit like that.
Then I was like,
Just one more. And then 6 takes later, oh, just one more.
That's usually it. And then I'll get annoyed at Sam for complaining about how tired he is.
At 6 in the morning after
you guys even hear that?
10 hours. Like.
Yeah. You gotta get it. You gotta get the cut.
You do it. It's worth it, and it's definitely paid off.
Yeah. The lowest budget's probably like nothing. To be honest.
Yeah.
Like with Jenny's Tale, obviously I paid Sam a bit, but in terms of like outside acquiring resources, we've done it for nothing because we.
He just takes a camera sometimes and walks down the damn street. Like half his videos are him just stumbling around streets.
Just find locations and
borrowed kit for free.
Yeah, borrowed kit. Children of the Moon was like very low budget considering that video.
It was just buying the heart, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, we bought a pig's heart. We bought some passata for the blood.
Yeah.
The paint we actually got from underneath my
stairs.
Yeah, that already existed. But that video, like, we just found locations that already existed. And a funny story about that one, there's a scene where it's like inside that padded cell that's got all the writing on the wall. That was just a doorway that we found in Brighton, and we went there at like 5 a.m. and we started painting the whole thing white. But we put high-vis jackets on just as high-vis jackets are like a hack to life, basically. And then the police did get called, and the police pulled up at about 5:30 in the morning, and they were like, guys, what are you doing? And thinking on my toes, I was like, oh, we saw some real racist graffiti on this wall, and we're painting over it.
Just doing our bit for the society, for the community.
Yeah, and they were like, oh.
We need that. We need to cover that stuff up.
And they said, "Good job, fellas," and they carried on their way.
And then we got the Sharpies out.
And then we got the Sharpies out and covered it with Children of the Moon. So lots of thinking.
Then the cops came back an hour later, like, what does this shit even mean?
Thinking on the feet for that one. And the other space was just like a piercing studio that I'd gone to get my piercing like a couple of weeks before that. And I just popped in and was like, "Yo, can we use that space? We love the chair," and they just let us use it for free. So a lot of it's just being friendly to people and just trying to get into those spaces.
Yeah, utilising what's kind of like available to you, and then also, yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get. Really.
And a lot of time it's an exchange in value. Like you can be like, I'll shout out your space, I can help promote you, or give you music for adverts or whatever. And I really believe in that sort of like trade exchange as opposed to sort of a monetary exchange. Sometimes that's necessary, but
he fucking hates money.
If you can do it and both bring equal value to each other, then why not?
Yeah, for sure. Sure. I think that's basically it. It's like, trade.
Yeah.
Trade your skills. You could, if you don't have money, you've got other things available for you. Like often a space will just be really happy if you take a couple of photos for them. Like, it's
give them a
really
shout out on
simple
social.
things.
Yeah. It was Drumheller, Alberta.
Yeah, it was.
Nice and easy, yeah, man. We just drove up there one day in the car, lugged a big keyboard, heavy Yamaha keyboard up a bunch of canyonous hills.
And a big old battery.
And the
big old battery was
the Jackery 3000. Shout out to Jackery 3000.
Sponsor us.
That thing could power a mini city, man. And
we
we brought that up there and. Yeah, beautiful spot, man.
Do you remember the wedding that was going on in the background?
Yeah, we had to wait for ages. We were ready to shoot, and then these people were taking wedding pictures, and they were like, "Yeah, 10 minutes," and then like half an hour passes, and they were like, "Yeah, another half an hour," and we're like, "Guys." So we had to wait for the wedding to finish. Not the wedding photographer to finish his thing, and then we managed to finally film it.
Yeah, it was frustrating, but that's it. You're up against it.
You're up against the elements when you're being a cheapskate.
Yeah. So I used to want to be like a marine biologist, and then I kind of like failed my A-levels, and so I was like, I probably should try something else because this isn't really seeming like my strong suit. And then I asked my best mate Caleb, like, "Oh, what's the film course like?" Because I decided I was going to take up photography anyway, because I'd always had a camera with me and used to like love taking photos. And he said it was great, and then basically signed up for it the next day, and then did a course with the BFI that a family friend was running, and that was where I kind of like fully got hooked and realised I wanted to be a cinematographer. It was kind of like that course.
Somebody get this dude a water bottle with a straw. That's like a damn dog bowl. It makes it so much easier. Like, workout shakers work fine. Just put some water in it instead of a protein shake. He looks so damn awkward lifting that thing. And like you drop a plastic water bottle, you're fine. You drop a ceramic bowl, then you had a set of 8. Now you had a set of 7. No one wants a set of 7 anything. Now the entire set's wasted.
We made a short film, and we were like a really high standard considering kind of we were all beginners, kind of getting involved with it, and since then kind of fell in love with it and kind of just haven't really looked back, and just fairly self-taught. I went to university as well, but I feel like that's more of a platform, and you don't really need it in this modern day. I think the most important thing is getting on sets, getting as much experience as you possibly kind of can, and being creative, really.
This is a long one. Oh. I hit play. Oh, you're gonna give us time?
I think first and foremost, if like that the ideas aren't rushing in initially, just seek out inspiration, seek people who are doing similar things, and because for me, whenever I'm reaching a creative dead patch, it's always trying to find people who are doing exciting things, soaking up as much of it as possible, because like, I mean, mirror neurons are a real thing. If you're watching things that excite you and get your brain ticking in a certain way, I'm all for a bit of creative license plagiarism, taking ideas, because everything in the world, regardless of what it is just a mixture of things which already exist put together in a creative and unique way. So trying to seek out inspiration. And then in terms of no budget, I mean, you can do so much these days. I mean, like Power, for example, we shot that with 2 phones on a dash cam. You know, like it's a very, it's a bit of tape. It's a very easy video, so you don't even need fancy equipment.
Well, then you would need a car and 2 phones, so there's a little budget technically.
Necessarily to make a video that's cool. You could phone cameras are so sick these days that you can do so much with them as well. So it's really just about doing it and not being scared that you have.
I'm learning that. I have this damn GoPro, like the newest one, that I take on all my trips with me, and I find myself just using my damn phone. This guy here, and I'm trying to find like uses for it beyond the rare times I'm friggin' snorkeling somewhere. It was a lot of fun last time I was in Hawaii. That's probably the most I've used it in one setting. Phones are great, and you've got access to a shit ton more apps that you can edit with. Whereby with these action cameras, like, and I have like, you know, good cameras too. This dude stays connected to my computer. I just don't want to take him down. I suppose I could and travel with him, and I've got a bunch of these crazy large lenses that are stupid expensive. Not necessary. I'm not filming weddings. I don't necessarily. I mean, I'd rather, if I was gonna shoot anything, it'd be landscapes. But where's the money in taking pictures of fucking trees and shit? That's more just for personal keeping, right? This has nothing to do with anything. I'm just storytelling. I do that sometimes. It's early. I'm tired. Yep. All right.
I haven't got the resources. Same applies for music. So many times people are like, oh, I haven't got the studio, I haven't got the right mics, I haven't got this and that. When you can really get yourself set up like a Focusrite and a cheap condenser mic for, you know, next to nothing these days. And not that I'm advocating pirating, but pirate all your stuff, you know, all your software. And
I'm not telling you not to do this, but you should do exactly this. I agree with him, by the way.
But yeah, no, I think it's like, that's the thing in terms of like ideas. Just keep it simple. Like some of my favorite ideas are just crazy simple stuff, like by the river or whatever it is, with the 2 girls that just like coming out of the water. That's just done in someone's bath, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and that looks like it's been done on just like a little DSLR. It's not a high budget video, but it's one of my favorite videos. It's like super simple videos and super simple concepts. It's like how it's not about coming up with the most incredible genius idea most of the times. It's kind of like, how can you make the easiest, simple, effective video that kind of says something? And I think,
and a lot of that's being very pedantic about the angles that you're getting, the lighting you're using. There's a lot of things that
I'd like to see them actually get out there and just budget the shit out of something, like some falling in reverse shit. Just get fucking completely cinematic. An entire cast, you know, hair, makeup, wardrobe, set, and then just crazy CGI. That'd be fun to see at some point. I'm sure we'll get something, maybe not to that extent, but because artists are doing less and less of that.
That can be done that make a space. I'd even argue that like the right lighting and angles is more important than the camera that you're filming it on.
100%.
So there's and a lot of those things can be jimmied. You can use the lighting of the space and just redirect it with tape, or like there's a lot of things that you can do, or just use lamps from, you know what I mean, from your house.
Lamp, yeah. I think that I like, as someone who now has used pretty much every camera, like high-end camera on the market, it's not about what camera you're using. Obviously they're different tools and you'll get different effects from them, but like it's
you know how seasoned Sam sounds. Yeah, as someone who's pretty much used everything. You know, now I've got. I think if I was to tell the younger generations, it's not about your schooling. It's about your experience, just getting on set. So as he smokes his pipe, he's fucking educating the youth.
Like there's a limiting factor. I think your ideas and what you do in front of the camera is always priority.
100%, man. Like those. When you have access to higher quality equipment, you might as well use it, because it's gonna, you know, it costs what it does for a reason, but it's not the defining factor of making it.
And then even then, it's not even the right thing. Like the amount of times we've had like high-end cinema cameras and it's not been the right camera for the job because we don't have the stabilization systems to put on it, or it's not, you know, small and nimble and we can't fit it inside a car or operate.
Or it has to look discreet, otherwise someone might kick you out of the space. You want a smaller
100%.
camera.
So there's so many factors like that that really can determine where you want to take it.
Facts.
For sure.
Yeah.
People.
Oh,
Yeah.
quite a lot. I mean, you're always
Bouncing on you.
at mercy of somebody ruining a shot.
Talking
or
to you.
Somebody going, "What's this?" and having no awareness that they're in a video. Or we've had people complaining about noise and had to completely rethink it. Or with Money Game, for example, like that first Money Game, we had a whole team who had come down, travelled down, we'd rented out kit, and then we'd got into this space not knowing that there was like some reconstruction that had to be done, so we had to wait another couple of weeks until it was done. And yeah, like that's one of the problems that you do come up to. Sometimes that lends itself to the intensity of the shoot, but other times it's just a fucking pain in the ass and you just have to deal with it, and you have to wait until the elements are right again to film.
Yeah, for sure. Like those kind of things, there's just so much out of your control. That's it, really. You're battling every element, and that's what you get with higher budgets. But also, sometimes those things are the things that really make videos. You know, a car crossing the road and you dodging around it at a certain point, or like cyclists going past. Or,
and there's plenty of things that can go wrong on a place that
Dabbing
you've
up
actually
strangers.
booked out, and you know that you won't have external interference as well,
100%.
like technological difficulties and problems with kit just failing. So, to be honest, at any time you're kind of at mercy of the elements and the shoot you're at.
That's it. That's the main thing that I would say is making videos is problem solving, and it's like you will be faced with adversity, and you will be like have things come up that you're really not prepared for. So this kind of being as prepared as possible, having yourself things like even just having like a roll of gaffer tape on standby just can get you out of so many.
And it's always a learning curve as well, like because everything that goes wrong is a lesson that can prepare you for the next shoot. So it's really frustrating at the time, but like what I've learned more and more going forward is to try and remove emotional reaction to those things as much as possible, because if you get in an emotional headspace it can affect your performance, and which isn't always the best. It depends where you are, it depends what you want, it depends if you want people to be like reacting to you, or it totally depends, to be honest. Like I think usually the spaces that we've used are really out of the way anyway.
And it's at like 4 a.m. and there's no one's going to be there.
Because we tend to try and avoid people as much as possible anyway, to like limit that. So like Jenny's tail, Screech's tail, Violet's tail, all of those were done in early hours of the morning, and with Money Games and all that as well. So for the most part we should be safe. Yeah,
because I think people are a problem if they know you or not, really. They're like definitely
if they see people with a camera kit doing their thing.
100%.
Okay, we've got a moving carnival. That was divine timing, wasn't it? After a question about interruption.
Perfect.
It really varies. Mainly a lot of them you come up with just because naturally when you've come up with the song, the ideas naturally come.
I think what normally happens is while I'm very like a visual writer, so as I'm writing them, the video's almost kind of being born during the writing process, because the lyrics, I'll write the lyrics and get excited about how that could be transcribed on camera, and so that almost shapes the way that the lyrics go in too. But then what I'll normally do is jump on a call with Sam after I've got the loose idea, and then me and Sam will bounce it backwards and forwards, and then new ideas will get born in that space, usually just like on a Zoom call or something, or a phone call, and then we'll be bouncing it forward. I'll tell Sam basically, you know, the meat and bones of it, and then we grow it from there. And sometimes it's about refining an idea if it's too grandiose and being like, actually, or if we find a location, we'd be like, okay, we have to lose this idea and this idea because it doesn't make sense in this space.
And then why don't we do this, that, and the other? You know,
exactly. Or sometimes the space can give birth to new ideas because it's like, oh, we've got this fucking cool door, like in Violet's Tale, it's like we've got this door we can knock on, we've got this spiral staircase we can look up reflectively at, or so there's a lot of the time it's like you conceptualize the meat and bones of an idea, and then a lot can just get born from just like chatting ideas backwards and forwards and just coming up with things in the space. And what I really try and do, because I'm not so precious, a lot of people want to be like, it was all me, I love to just talk to as many people as possible about my idea, and then somebody, it might be a randomer that I've met, might go, have you seen this thing, or have you thought about doing that list, and then acquiring an idea that way. Like, I believe in the power of collective intelligence, and I'm not so precious about it being like, well, me, it's all me, I'm the best at all this, so I'm genius. Like, a lot of my genius comes from other people's input as well, and it's just like this big collaborative effort in what could be the best thing. And you know, I'm a big believer in collective intelligence.
I think that's often what kind of talent really is knowing the kind of like value in teamwork and of the people around you. And I think that's 100%. Kind of what we want from pretty much all the sets we work on. Is like, I'm very open to the ideas of all the team underneath me, and like, I really want them to tell me ideas. Obviously, there's a time and a place where it's like actually valuable, or sometimes it can be counterproductive. But I'm a big believer in that too. I think it's like, why would you hire people and bring people onto things, and why would you
to be
have this big pool of knowledge and ideas and not utilize it and really kind of help develop the piece in that? I think the development process is probably where I kind of come in. And
government officials take note, man.
Yeah.
Collective intelligence over dictatorships of creativity.
Yeah, for sure.
There are some things that just work really well. So like in Highren, the whole video was planned to be a mounted, stabilized scene. But then because this guy ran in at like 10, 11 p.m. and was screaming, "You've got to get out of here," because we were making too much noise because we hadn't booked out the space again. We had to do the very last moment is a cut where it goes handheld. Yeah. But that really lent itself when I stand up off the wheelchair. That handheld suddenly made it a lot more personal, and we hadn't planned it to go that way, but it really worked.
Yeah,
it really lent itself 100%. To the feeling of that very last. It's a much more intimate, hopeful energy that's coming out, and it really lent itself to that space. I'm trying to think of any other moments as well.
I think a lot of it is just like really depending on the space. Like, I think when we did Illest of Our Time, some of those spaces really were amazing, and so we had to get bits in those certain spaces.
Oh yeah, like the cage. We didn't know the fighting cage existed, and so we got that fight scene in there with the cage. And sometimes again, it's just like your environment can birth so many new ideas, and or like even little moments like in that Nas video we shot recently, the school bus coming right past at the right moment, or the stop sign stopping right as I stopped on the sidewalk. Like, there are certain little serendipitous moments.
Yeah, I think I commented on that in my reaction. I was like, did they play on these things? Because it kind of worked.
You could never plan.
Oh yeah, it's like a Money Game as well, with the planet spinning and landing on South America just on the table.
Yeah.
It's like, there's things like that you can never really like force, but just kind of
like you could with a mechanical spin, but that would have cost loads of money. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, there are so many little serendipitous moments that happen that you could never plan, and that's what makes it difficult choosing between takes, especially when they're one shots. Is like. Sometimes you might have a really good moment in one and it's not in the other, but you have to look at it as a whole and be like, that whole thing is what the sauce. The sauce!
Yeah. That's serendipity.
Are you off? Bye bye.
Oh,
ciao, mate.
See you later, bro.
Safe trip.
Love you. Could be more.
Yeah, man. Get home safe.
And good luck with the gig, mate.
Thank you very much, boys.
Yeah, let me just double check this is still... Actually, the whole of Highren I was unsure about. I thought we hadn't got it. At the end of Highren, I thought that because it was we'd only had enough time to do 4 takes, and I'm normally at least like 20, 30 to play it safe.
Yeah.
That whole thing I thought we hadn't got because it was such a high pressured, like I was in a weird energy space because we'd gotten kicked out, and weirdly it's turned out to be the most successful video out of the bunch, so you never know, man.
No, yeah, for sure.
That was.
I'm not sure it was the video. I'm certain it was the song. But yeah, I get it.
There's plenty of things that, until you see them in context in the kind of final edit, that you're like, oh, I wasn't sure about that moment, but it can really lend to it, and it's like.
And there have been certain times as well, because I really like to, while I'm recording it, I like to really feel like I've forgotten every take that's come before and every take that will come after, so it just feels like a very organic experience. And there have been takes where I'm like, I do the take, and in my head I was like, I was too in my head and self-aware of that, because I want to become the character, I want to become the emotions that are being conveyed.
The strobing lights during the day, that's enough. Somebody flip that switch.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll do a take and be like,
Thank you.
nah, that just felt really robotic for me. And then I'll watch it back and it actually seems very natural. So
Yeah.
it's like sometimes you can't always be the best judge of how it translates from the third person.
It's the same with operating. You're like, oh my god, that felt amazing. And you look it back and you're like, oh, actually, it wasn't. It didn't have any of the energy. It didn't have any of the feeling. It was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe technically it's the best one, but it doesn't really have.
Like you can hit all the marks,
Yeah.
but it still sometimes doesn't have that magic
100%.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see a question. Someone said about the. Did we put tape on the floor in Violet's Tale for a mark of where to stand? Someone asked about that. I can't remember.
Oh no! We what at the end of the corridor?
Yeah.
Or, no, I think we blagged it. I think there's just a part of the floor that's got like a where you can pick up the floor and get into
So
under
it
the
was
floor.
just-
So
it was
there
there
was
already.
an already pre-made like
Okay.
mark that we used.
We have used marks of where to stand and stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
like
100%,
a little bit of chalk
definitely.
or something.
Yeah.
Just so that we know a cue to hit, because sometimes.
I think
We plan out.
using tape is very visual though, and you can very easily see it if you're ever going for wides and stuff. So it's quite nice using like natural
Something
things,
subtle.
like a stick or like a.
In Money
yeah,
Game,
or
we
like-
used a lot of just like a stick or like a little thing
Chalk
of chalk on
mark
the
or,
floor or
yeah.
something like that. Because it's like a dance. It's choreography essentially between the camera and me.
Yeah.
So sometimes we've planned out a wide shot or a framing that looks like a painting, you know, and you want to make sure that you hit that true. And so like little marks on the floor and stuff is always really handy. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you could be a
It's
little
also,
bit off.
but like obviously whoever's operating then is adjusting to you anyway. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like you're both wanting to hit your marks, and that's where you're aiming for. But there's
There's still
scope.
spontaneity
Yeah,
and
yeah.
improvisation within that. Yeah, for sure.
And even within that, you can slightly adjust it and find an even better frame half the time. So it's like
Yeah.
it's
But yeah, I mean, coming back to like full circle to like the theme of the video, like making videos on a budget. Like to round it all off, I would just really say like the best thing to do is just don't think about it too much. Just get out there and do it. And your
Yeah.
first stuff might be rubbish. It just might be, and like that's not a problem because you can watch it back with an analytical eye. Like we went back and did the first Money Game 3 times and watched it back and then changed bits, and it like my advice is just don't be scared to do it. Just do it.
It's all
Whatever
learning.
it is. Even if the idea seems really simple, go out and do that really simple idea and
don't be afraid to make mistakes.
learn by
you
doing.
know? Yeah.
The best times that you learn is by fucking up and feeling really bad about it. If you fuck up and feel really bad about it and that hinders you from ever doing something in the future, that's when you're missing the chance of a lesson, because a lesson is essentially, the best lessons for me have been mistakes or things that have gone wrong. And then even if I feel emotional about that, that emotional really plays into me getting it right the next time, as opposed to just reading a bunch of text of what you can theoretically do right from some textbook online for some sort of lesson. That stuff's really good, but it won't stay with you as much as making your own mistakes and learning from those ones.
I don't think he's allowed to say just do it when he's head to toe in Adidas. Just saying.
100%.
Yeah. Brrrah, from
Peace out.
sunny New Jersey. It's been a pleasure, guys.
New York in the background.
Yes. Goodbye from us in the Big Apple.
Yeah.
We out here.
Fun stuff. Yeah, you guys know I like watching those. In an interview, I don't really have a ton of comments. It's interesting to listen. Most of that stuff you kind of sort of assume, I think. Because if you've seen all of his videos, you kind of get a feel for how things are done. But there you have it, the Ren and Sam interview. Good stuff. Cool to see them taking what would seem like just send in or sort of fan questions. I'm assuming he got those from Patreon. Not sure. You guys let me know. But yeah, go like, go subscribe, of course. Go support Ren. And like, comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Best way to get me is always going to be on Patreon. We'll keep it moving here. I'm going to continue to try to wake up. And sorry for my excessive blinking. Got something in my eye, or it's besides 2 surgeries. Sometimes they just start annoying me. So, what the fuck is this? TikToker stabs rival to death. See, these are the videos I don't want showing up. Why do you think I like death? I think YouTube might have me a little twisted. When in any of my content do I come across as a fucking psychopath, right? I don't know. you guys let me know. But all right. Anyways, go support Red. We're at 30 minutes. Whew, it's a long one. Have a great day. We'll talk to you on the next.